gonna be life. So you have to embrace your scars. A lot of people don't know what you've been through, and half of them don't know what you're going through. They might see your war wounds, but they won't understand your pain because they never felt your pain because you built different. You really built different. You God best kept secret. Because you got that David in you. You got that Paul in you. You got that Saul in you. You got that Abraham in you. Because you chose it. You chose it. And that's why you was able to bend but not break. And that's why you broke even. Because you beat the odds. And God knows that you stand on business. You stand on business. Kingdom business. Big dog. Yeah, that's real.
That's up and big himself, one and all. You know, I'm gonna run that back. I'm gonna run that back. That hit me in a way, so I'm gonna run that back. I'm gonna run that back.
Life gonna be life. So you have to embrace your scars. A lot of people don't know what you've been through. And half of them don't know what you're going through. They might see your war wounds, but they won't understand your pain because they never felt your pain because you built different. You really built different. You God best kept secret. Because you got that David in you. You got that Paul in you. You got that Saul in you. You got that Abraham in you. Because you chose it. You chose it. And that's why you was able to bend but not break. And that's why you broke even. Because you beat the odds. And God knows that you stand on business. You stand on business. Kingdom business. Big dog. Yeah, that's real.
Oof, that hit my soul hard. I go through. First of all, welcome, 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 and bless up yourself. Excuse me, one and all, to the Troy Graham experience. I am the aforementioned Troy Graham. Welcome to my humble abode, as they say. So yeah, I always want to start the show off with something, a song or some positive affirmation that I heard or something, because that's the way you should live, in positivity. Don't live in negativity, live in positivity, right? So when I heard this, which I actually heard it a while back, I said, man, I know I'm gonna find a use for this right here. So I saved it. And sure enough, brother did his thing on here. So to all who are interested in as to who that is, that's George White. George White. And it's he's talking about just loving yourself. Being, you're not a mistake by God. You're not here by chance. Anybody else could have been here, but you here. So walk in your purpose. First of all, speak your purpose into truth, walk in it, live in it, and let no person or persons, loved ones, family members, friends take you off that stroll. You stay strong in it. Even if nobody else can see it, you stay strong in it. Damn that. Don't ever walk away from it. It's yours. If it beats in your heart that strong if it's the drum beat of your soul, then you know you're doing the right thing because you're being guided by one mightier than you. All right. That being said, welcome, 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 welcome. So let me jump on camera so you can see who you're dealing with. So I was you know, kind of just going through Facebook today, and then on my timeline, I saw, the if you look on the thumbnail of the show, I saw that thumbnail that had Felix Trinidad, Spence, Brooke, Simon Brown, and Donald Curry, and Felix Trinidad was being praised because he had the most defenses with the IBF belt, correct? Okay, so that's good. Felix was a very, very, very outstanding damn fighter. I enjoyed watching him. I don't think I've ever seen a boring Trinidad fight in my whole life. And I watch most of them. One of my favorites is the one he had with Yori Boy Campus. Him and Campus came in, what was he, 50 with 50 knockouts? And Felix, he dropped Felix, which, Felix's chin was somewhat suspect. He dropped him, but Felix got that Larry Holmes type of dog in him. He gets up and he went left hook crazy on campus and nearly he hit him. It was like a Hollywood movie. His neck went one looked like his neck was literally. If y'all played Ring King back in the day on the old Nintendo, yes, I'm showing my age. I'm 50 plus. I'm proud of it. So if y'all played Ring King back in the day on the old Nintendo, right? He hit him with one of them left hooks. And the dude looked like he was about to fly out the ring. His neck was just it was hilarious. Bless up yourself, Bruce. I see you, right? I see you. And so I give Felix all his props, man. He was something to behold. If Felix was around today, I honestly believe he beats LK. As for the people that are listed on that board, on the thumbnail, he beats Spencer Brooks. He beat both of them. He'll beat both of them. They don't have, I don't believe they bring anything to him that he's never seen before. Simon Brown and Donald Curry, different story, different level of skill, different animals. And then Simon Brown was trained by the great Pepe Carrera. And he mentored under the great Sugar Ray Leonard. So he's true old school. He gets warmed up around the fifth round, and he had a chin back in the day. He had a great chin. And what did he have? A great left hook. And what could he do? He can box. And what was Trinidad's Achilles heel? A good boxer, but even one with power was even worse. So hence Bernard Hopkins had a little bit of power. He stopped Trinity. He stopped Trinidad late in the fight. So that being said, before we get into proceedings, let's move on to Curry versus Curry. I think would have been entirely too much for Trinidad. He was the best boxer on that list. I remember having a conversation with Simon when I was younger, and I asked him. He said, "I really, man, the two fighters I don't want to see right now is Hearns and Curry." That's before he was champion, though. That's before he was champion, y'all. He told me that. He told me that. I'm not looking. If I had to choose two fighters, I don't want to fight right now. Hearns and Curry, right? I think at the time Hearns was probably up at 154, right? And Curry was just bouncing around. I think he was about 147 still. He had just lost to Huntington. He was at 147 still, and then he moved up to 154. So to me, Simon, because I know him, I know him personally. I watched him train. I know his weaknesses and his strengths. He beats Trinidad. He beats Brooke, and he beats Spence. He TKs old Trinidad because Trinidad had a point on the chin where he would go down. And what was his? He had two Achilles heel: the boxing and left hooks. Those are the two things. A good boxer and a good left hook, you get him up out of there. And Simon could do both. Simon could do both. And I think they were roughly the same height. Simon was about 5'9", 5'9", 5'10" and a half, maybe, or 5'10". Trinidad was about 5'11", so they were comparable in height. And then let's break it down by the steps. Let's do Brooke and Spence first. Now, why don't you say based on just this style, um, Spence is the come forward guy that likes to out strength his opponent. He comes forward, he outstrengths you, he bullies you. That's not going to work against Simon. He was deceivingly a whole lot stronger than what you think he is. Just ask Tyrone Trice. Just ask Terry Norris. Just ask Maurice Blanca. Just ask Glenwood Brown. Ask any of them how strong that man was. He was strong. You understand? He was strong. And he had above average power where I've seen him drop people with straight right hands, one straight right hand. There was a fighter that he fought called Al Bumblebee Long. Elusive, man. Just, he was annoying. He's like his namesake, just buzz all over the place. Buzz, hit you, buzz. He was elusive. He was putting it on Simon for a little bit. Simon dropped him in the later part of that fight, and he fell face first. This was a top level. He was a good above average boxer, just elusive as hell. And then, when you watched it on TV, you were like, did this dude quit in the fight? But when they showed it again in slow motion, he didn't quit in the fight. Simon broke his ribs. He broke his ribs. He said that after the fight. Al Long was like, my ribs are broke. He broke his ribs, and he fell face first. Big up yourself, Lord. Big up, big up, big up. See, Lord. So, yeah, so you think about that. And then you factor in that the fact that he can box because he mentored with he was trained by Pepe, who also trained Sugar Ray. So Simon learned how to throw the left hook correctly from Sugar Ray Leonard, right? So that was another guy that emulated. He really could box. He fell in love with his power in somewhere in his career, but he really was a very, very good boxer. Plus, his sparring partner was Maurice Blocker, a slick guy who they call him the Thin Man. He can box. He can box, yo. You know. So and then Pepe would take them to New York, and he had them in the ring with the people like Iran Barkley, who was much bigger than Simon, and he had him up in there with Aaron Davis. Same thing, bigger than Simon. He fought one of the best fighters out of Baltimore, Marvin McDowell, who now runs Umar Boxing out of Baltimore. Angry Mexican, bless up yourself. So this man came with a lot of boxing credentials. Remember, he beat Sean O'Sullivan, who was coming up through the ranks. He was Sugar Ray's protege, and Simon wore his behind out and messed his whole career up. Right. So that's what Simon brings. Now, what does Spence bring if we put him against Spence at this point, current day? Bully boxing. He tries to bully you, tries to outstrength you. He is a strong boxer, and he has that timing thing where he can catch you. He has the real good timing. I give that to Spence. He has real good timing. But if he can't bully you and make you back up, he can't beat you. He can't. We saw that. We saw that already. We saw that, ladies and gentlemen, in the Crawford fight. If he cannot, and then he had a lapse of focus in the fight with Ugas, you know, and we saw what happened when he loses his focus. So Simon never lost focus, and on top of that, most fighters get weaker as the fight goes on. As Buddy McGirt stated when he was on, we interviewed him, myself and Major over there on Major Key. Simon got stronger as the fight went on. By the fifth round, because old school boxers are trained to start picking up the pace in round 5, round 6, round 7. Then they teeter down around round 10 because they know they got 5 more rounds. So they teeter down around round. They give you a big burst for about, I would say, 4 or 5 rounds, right? Then round 10 comes, it teeters down. Round 11 comes, it stays level. Round 12 level. And now when rounds 13 and 14 come, they pick the pace back up. Boom, boom, they get that second win. Boom, 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 boom. Because they know round 15 is coming and they got to put it on them. They got to put it out. If it's a close fight, you got to put it out. That's the way he was trained. That's where he was. And he trained like a monster. So that's why I'm picking Simon over Spence. Because I don't Spence he's never experienced anything like that. Where in the later rounds a fighter keeps coming at him because most of the fighters that he fought, they teetered down in the later rounds. They didn't keep picking up the pace. They turned it down, 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 down. They didn't pick up the pace. Simon says the golden boy, Oscar smokes Brown. Who? Simon? No. Oh, so I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Spence before the car accident when he was chasing, it wouldn't make a difference. Before or after the car accident, Angry Mexican, the outcome would still be the same. Spence just doesn't have the tools, the overall skills to be the man as talented as Simon. Matter of fact, who was comparable to Spence back in those days was Glenwood Brown. And go watch the fight with Glenwood Brown and Simon Brown, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Simon Brown outboxed Glenwood and beat the brakes off him. Beat him. He just outboxed him. He was more fought a similar style next to how Spence fought. And now let's talk about Brook. Above average boxer who really was a bigger dude because he walked around muscular at like 180. And he's been stabbed before and stuff, and he made it through. So he's a tough, strong guy, right? And remember, he fought Triple G when Triple G was just rolling through people, and he was supposed to be the smaller man. But the reality is his frame might have been smaller, but his weight and size made him comparable to Gigi, even heavier, if you ask me, because he walked around at 180, and he wasn't fat neither. He was muscle. He sweated off muscle. He didn't sweat off fat. So that being said, because of his style and how he fought, because he had to conserve energy because he was really killing himself to make 147. This is Brook now we're on. So Simon will wear him out and TKO him, much like Crawford did. He would stop Brook because he can't you can't conserve energy when a man is constantly coming at you. They go around 6'7", you breathing all hard, and this dude is just soldiering on. He's like, come on now, come on now, come on now, come on now. You can't conserve energy because he's not going to allow you to. And Simon walked, he fought a Joe Louis style. He walked behind that jab, dragged that back foot, moved head movement, and you could see the right hand, the body shots. He lived in the body, like he said. One of the people that he looked up to in boxing was Mike McCollum. And what was Mike McCollum's name? The body snatcher. So, he lived that. He would beat your body until you wanted to give up. You wanted to give up after that beat because he was hitting you with no. He wasn't shoe shining you. He was not shoe shining you. He was hitting you with all that he had, right? And so that being said, so he takes out Brook, he takes out Spence. He definitely takes those two out. And now we're gonna get to the one man on the list who could possibly beat everybody on this list, and that's the one great Donald Curry. Donald Curry was not a man to take lightly, whether he was at 147 or 154. The only people that beat him, well, the first two people that beat him were Jamaicans, and they were both undefeated. Lloyd Hunnigan, Mr. Ragamuffin, he beat him because he just roughed him. He roughed him up. They said Donald had the flu before that fight and all that. He got roughed up in that fight, y'all. I mean, he really, really, really got roughed up in that fight. Then he fought the great Mike McCollum, right? And then what happened when he fought Mike McCollum? This is Curry we're talking. He was beaten. He was edging out Mike at 154. But here's what he did. He kept repeating his movement. Excuse me. He kept repeating his movement when he was fighting Mike McCollum. You don't do that with a great boxer because both of them were great boxers. He was going in and out, going to the body, going in and out, stepping back, stepping. He never went side to side. He stepped straight back because, Mike would always fire to the body, right? So what did Mike do? He got his timing down. Whoops. Whoops. Don't do the same. This is for all of you out there who are coming up boxers. Do not continue to do the same thing and fight on the same line. So you got to get to a point where you confuse even not confuse yourself, but you tell yourself mentally, I cannot keep doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. Because if you know you're doing the same thing, the fight in front of you is going to catch your timing. If you're on 1, 2, 3, guess what? He's going to get your timing. He's going to get your timing, and he's going to run over you, right? So Donald was doing the body shot, jab and left hook and jab out and all that, stepping right back. Mike said, okay. And he knew Mike was going to come with a body shot. He knew it because that's what Mike does. So what Mike did when he came in, he faked like he was going to the body. And as he was pulling out, calling straight back, he came with a monster left hook. And that's all she wrote for the great Donald Curry. Stiffened him up like an iron board. Like an iron board. If y'all know what an iron board is. But but let me tell you something. That was one of the purest fights I've ever seen between two pure boxers. It was pure. That was a pure fight. That and the fight with McCollum and Tony, beautiful damn fight. If you're a coach or a trainer and you want to train people, look at those two fights: Curry versus McCollum and Tony versus McCollum. Beautiful fights, right? So that being said, Curry would give Simon some issues, man, simply because of how he fought. He was fast. Curry was fast. I mean, he was fast. And you got to understand something. Simon, at that point, only lost to one man, and that was Mike McCollum. No. Marlon Starling. And Curry beat Starling twice. He's schooled. He didn't just beat him. He schooled him twice. He couldn't beat him. Starling said he couldn't beat him. Starling couldn't beat him whatsoever. He got schooled, right? So that happened. So on that list that you see up there, with Trinidad, Spence, Brook, and Curry, I think Simon would only have issues with Curry because of what Curry brought to the table as far as boxing skills, speed, and movement. That woof, Curry can box. Damn it, he can box. Ask every Kronk fighter that he beat and TK'd over whether he can box, and he had some power to him. Now he wasn't no slouch in the power department. You understand me? He was no slouch. He fought. He Curry's thing is that he ran into some people that were great, like Michael Nunn, right? Excuse me. He gave them decent fights, but not good fights. Michael Nunn, he gave him a decent fight. Uh, Terry Norris. They had some personal issues. I don't know what it was, but they definitely had some personal issues. Those two fighters right there. I don't know what it was with them two, but they had personal issues, right? So, but yeah, they definitely had some personal issues. But it was a great fight while it lasted, man. So just based on the thumbnail and all that, Simon Brown would be the one standing and when the dust clears out of all those fighters, just based on his style and what he brought to the table. With big respect to Felix Trinidad, he might be the biggest name on the thumbnail, but Simon would beat him. See, funny enough, Maurice Blocker beat Marlon Starling, who beat Simon Brown, right? Then Maurice went to go fight Terry Norris. Terry Norris beat him. Simon Brown beat Terry Norris. So you see, there's a pattern. There's a pattern there between those two friends. You beat Maurice, Simon come and beat you. You beat Simon, Maurice come and beat you. So he stopped Maurice face down. Trinidad stopped him face down. So Simon would have came in and beat Trinidad for that. But they never had a chance to fight. I wish they would have fought. I wish, timing being what it is, if they could have fought in their prime, he beats Trinidad. He beats him. I mean, honestly, he's gonna beat him. He's a way better boxer than Oscar De La Hoya, and Oscar De La Hoya schooled Trinidad, and they robbed that man in a fight. They shouldn't have robbed him like that, but they did. What you gonna do? This is boxing, of course, right? This is how things work sometimes. But I see you got Angry Mexican in here. That's an interesting name. Brooke never should have took the Spence fight in 7 months after Triple G. The doctors advised against it, but he could still pass. Okay, well, he took it, and it's not like he got ran over. Angry Mexican. Brooke put up a good fight. Remember, he caught him with that good left hook, and he had his moments. He had his moments. Bruce Gas. Thanks for always popping in, Bruce. Appreciate it. And yeah, Brooke had his moment with those against Triple G, but you understand, Triple G wasn't a great boxer. He really wasn't even a great puncher. He was a thumper, meaning that he hits you one time, you feel it. The second time, you're gonna wobble. The third time, you're going out. You have never seen Triple G knock anybody out with one solitary punch. De La Hoya might go. Also, Rob versus Mosley. No, no, I have to disagree with you on that, Lord. He was not robbed by Mosley. I saw both those fights. He lost. He definitely lost. The second fight, the first fight was kind of close. The second fight, no. Mosley came in and did Mosley, helter skelter. He lost that fight. So see, the thing with Oscar back then is that he idolized, in a sense, he idolized Mosley. He tried to fight like he was a brother, and it just didn't work out for him. In the ring, I mean, he was trying to emulate what Mosley was doing, and it didn't work out for him whatsoever, right? So that's I disagree with you on that, good brother. I disagree with you on that one right there. But I would have. What just happened? I would have loved to see it. I would have loved to see Simon and Oscar and Mosley go at it. Would love to see that fight, but it didn't happen. But yeah, see, I think a lot of times people, when it comes to boxing, when you have a thumbnail like that or a boxing panel, people focus on the biggest names. They don't really think back, and most people don't know history of boxing these days. They surface. They know what they see. They don't know too much else, right? Everybody throws the word casual around. Whatever the hell that means. Casual, 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 casual. If you spending money, then you're more than casual. You're a guy person that enjoys the sport. You're not casual anything. So that being said, right? I say sometimes you have to look past the most popular fighter and go do your research and see how skilled the other fighter is. Because out of all four, was it five fighters on that list, Curry's actually the best boxer on there. Simon is the better fighter overall, but Curry's the best boxer on that thumbnail. Out of Brooks, Spence, Trinidad, Curry's the best boxer. I give him. I say he could beat. He can outbox everybody on that list. Everybody. Now, if you're talking about a fight, Simon would beat him. If it comes down to a close range battle, Simon beats him. No, Simon definitely beats that man. So yeah, but big up yourself, one and all, man. I know, I pop up. I gotta be more consistent with this. I'll definitely do that. I say from now on, I just got to pick a time and do it and get the thing done. Because I got all these subjects I want to test on, try, do on my show. It's just that I'm trying to put it together where I don't sound like I'm a confused guy. One day I come on, I'm about this. Next day I'm about that. And if I confuse it myself, then I'm going to confuse you too. Understand what I'm saying? And I really don't feel like starting another page or show. Excuse me. I don't feel like starting another page or show or anything like that. Where's Major? Major's chilling, man. Life is life. Major's chilling. I just spoke to Major the other day. He's chilling, man. Yeah. So one day we'll come back together like Voltron to do something. As of right now, he's living his life and I'm living mine, and I'm gonna pop up here. And he does this thing from time to time. He'll call me and say I'm doing something. Hop on. I'm like, okay. Well, nah, Major chilling, man. All is good. All is good. He's just not coming back on for right now, right? But I tell y'all what, man. Since you asking, right? Which one of those shows did you enjoy most that myself and Major did over there? I know we did quite a few. I actually lost count as to how many shows I put together over there. But which one did you enjoy the most? Because I know we did so many interviews, man. But I don't remember. I tell you what, I'll jump in. My favorite one, right? He's chilling, raising. My favorite one. I can't answer that question for you, partner. I My favorite one that we did over there. My favorite interview we did over there at Major Key was the one with Julian Jackson. That was a ridiculous classic because I invited Tommy Brook because he used to train Julian Jackson. He came on. I invited Mike McCullum, and you can't say you've seen another interview with Mike McCullum and Julian Jackson anywhere. You can't say that. We're the only ones that did it. You can't say you've seen it anywhere else, right? So when this is what happened, Major brought up Mike, but he put Julian on the big screen so he couldn't see anybody. So then him being him, Major was like, "Yeah, Julian, tell us what you think about Mike McCullum," knowing Mike is right there, right? So Julian, being Julian, the gentleman that he is, he's like, you know what? That man was one of the greatest boxers ever. Even in a loss, I learned so much and I gained so much from him. I just want, if I ever see him again, I just want to tell him that. Not knowing the man is sitting, he's on the platform where he could hear him, but Julian can't see him. So that when Julian brought him back down to the smaller size, he was like, Julian, are you that? Going on? Yeah, I blacked out for a second, but that's one episode I'll always remember. That show right there was beautiful. It was just beautiful, man. Because how many times? Who else on this YouTube platform could say that okay, we did, yeah, we did David, we talked to David about we did three interviews with him. Matter of fact, I'm gonna reach out to his people and get him on here on the Troy Graham experience. That, thank you for reminding me. So yeah, that'll be the fourth time I talked to the brother. Because if you remember, I don't know if you saw the first one, second one, or whatever, but the first one we did, we got into a conversation, which was 2 years ago actually. We got into a conversation about Canelo Alvarez, and I told him at present time, I don't think you could beat him. But if he waits a year or two, you're gonna be the one to dethrone him. But right now, 2 years ago, you ain't gonna be there. And he's like, well, I disagree with you. And I can tell you're not being disrespectful. I'm not being disrespectful at all, Playboy. I'm simply telling you what's on my heart. Right now, if he fights Canelo now, he beats him. He beats Canelo now. 2 years ago, not so much. Not so much. No, sir. But yeah. But thank you for reminding me. I'm gonna go call those people and get them on the show, man. hmm Somebody else I want to get back on the show. I want to put together some other shows too, but I'm gonna keep that to myself. We're definitely gonna bless you up over here, just like I did with everybody else I was on. So I got to bless myself up. So yeah, I'm working on some other shows. But yeah, man, I love doing that. I love what we were building over there and all that, right? And so we just took a break. Well, he did. I'm back now, and I'm gonna come back full time and do it myself. And then when he wants to come back on, he's always welcome, right? We start building again. But like I told him, I'm more over here now. Troy Graham. I'll come over there, but my main focus is over here. But the way it is right now with boxing, like okay, I'll give you for instance. I was watching the pre-fight conference with Joshua and Ngannou yesterday, right? Let me tell you something. The hottest take I heard on there was when somebody, I think I don't know who the reporter was. He said, yeah, Oscar De La Hoya said he doesn't believe you should bring all boxing over to Saudi or Dubai or whatever, right? Because not all of them are worthy or whatever. And the prince said, well, you tell Oscar we will miss him. Then he went back to what he was saying. He just brushed, we will miss him. That dude was smooth, mantequilla. That was smooth. I bet you can get El Rio Venezuela. I don't know who that is, but yeah. If you want him, then I'll do my research and look him up, and I'll see what I can do. I make no promises, man. I just tell you I'll put my due diligence in. But thank you. I like a challenge, so thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll go check. I'll look him up now. But the prince was like, "Well, tell Oscar we will miss him." And he didn't miss a beat. He just kept going. Let me tell you what. Nobody is going to go against the Saudis. Nobody. You want to know why? Because they could buy anybody. They can. They make like $1 million a day in oil and whatever else they have over there. Libya, the president, Muammar Gaddafi, that's his name, before they murdered that man. He was making over $1 million a day in Libya, right? So how much you think these people are making? Hmm. So look, people could say what they want. He could put on any fight he wants. He could afford to. And you know who opened the doors for all the other boxers that are coming in right now? Joshua. And people need to remember that. 2 losses aside, 3 losses aside, he opened that door over there to the Saudis. It so amazes me how the tables have now turned. Deontay, well, I'm never gonna fight. I ain't gonna fight for nobody. I'm staying over here with the PBC. Where's he at now? Fighting with the Saudis. And it's so funny. At one point, the PBC boys, because I don't have an issue with the fighter himself. I have an issue with them dumbass people who claim to be his fans. They say stupid shit, and then they threaten people and say things they shouldn't say out their mouth because they know they wouldn't say it in person, right? So now is when you find out who really can talk boxing and who's really just about that drama. You already know that I know boxing. I could come up here and talk boxing all day long. Throw out a subject and I could rock with it. It don't matter. From the rooter to the tutor, I could talk about the sport. The business side of it, not so much. But the in-ring stuff, that's where I live and breathe. I could do that. I can do that. That's no problem, baby. That's no problem. But that tells you, because a lot of these cats were just living off the drama and the ignorance, whereas cats like me were scratching and crawling to get their space, right? Because I wanted my own space. I wanted to have my own space. Everybody knows me for doing interviews and all that stuff, but let me dig out my own space now and get my own niche, as they say. And let's see what we'll see what Troy Graham's about. What is the Troy Graham experience? Well, I like to call it a conversation piece where you come over here, you might get a little boxing. I talked about credit repair. I talked to musicians. I talked to comedians over here. I talked to a gentleman. You might as well call him a life coach. He's an author. He's a civil rights activist. He was just a real powerful gentleman in my life and many others. And that's Mr. Carl Snowden from out of Maryland, right? One of my mentors in college. He was on here. You know, I talked to a brother who is a martial artist slash singer who sings in Spanish and English. And he's in his 50s and he's in better shape than most people. And I'm going to talk to this brother who used to do security for Public Enemy, and he was trained by Professor Griff. And he's in his 60s, but when you look at him, you're not going to real, you're going to be like, damn, he's not in his 60s. He's not in his 60s, man. He looks that young. So it's what the Troy Graham experience is all about is just that, an experience. You come over here, you might get boxing, you might get stuff about life itself. So I'm looking up, is it Rayo or Jose? Jose El Rayo, Venezuela. Is that his name, Lord? Jose El Rayo, Venezuela. Let's see, who is he? Who is he? Who's his brother? Let's see what he's about. Go to Box Rec, right? Because like I said, that's the first time I heard him. Does he speak English first and foremost? I'm just asking. So he's 13 and 2. Does he speak English? Because it'd be kind of difficult for me to interview someone who doesn't speak English. So he's a southpaw. He's 24. He's 5'10". And what weight does he fight at? Okay, tell me what weight he fights at, brother. Male followers. I don't see what weight class he. They don't have his weight class here, so I don't know what weight class he's at. Sex, nationality, southpaw. What weight do you fight at? Okay. Birthplace is still not telling me. Okay. I put boxer in and weight class. He fights at 135? Okay. Is this the dude we keep hearing about that Spence should fight? Is that him? Or is this somebody else? Is he an up and comer or is he a top contender right now? I'm sorry, that's somebody else at 140. So tell me about him since y'all brought him up. Tell me. I mean, because I'm gonna do my research, and if it's somebody that I think that I should reach out to, then I definitely will. But go ahead and give me some knowledge on him. I mean, I put the link in here, so if you want to hit the link and jump on here and talk to me, that's cool. Or if you want to stay in the chat, that's cool too. But the link is in here somewhere. Yeah, the link is right there. So if you want to jump on, do that, and you can break him down to me. Um, what's up with Xander Zayas? Anybody know what's going on with him? He's at 154 pounds, right? And Crawford looking for a fight at 154. How would he match up against Crawford, you think? Xander Zayas and Crawford. Anybody. Slide and counter or Lord or anybody else that's in here. How do you think Xander Zayas would do against Crawford? You think he's ready for Crawford? Because from my understanding, the brother's supposed to be good. I have his info, so I could get him. I could reach out to him to get him on the show, and I could ask him myself. I really don't. So you never know who. No. what's his record? That was a quick no, brother. What's his record, real quick? Because you know what? I think I'm not even gonna speak on it. I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna make a list of fighters I want to interview, and I'm gonna reach out to them. Okay, and then basically y'all can tune in and check it out and go from there. But I definitely, if y'all pop out a name to me, I'll definitely reach out to the brother and go from there. And then if you don't tune in and you say, well, you said you was gonna get him, well, that's on you. You got to tune in, baby. Because I keep my word. I mean, I had another podcaster say I couldn't get Chrissy Martin. I got Chrissy Martin, and he came on and spoke to her. That actually, I always remember that because just the tone of his voice let me know he really felt that. That's also a good memory. Good memory, man. Because see, while you live in this life, it's always good to give off good, positive energy. All this drama and back and forth we see on here on social media. Why is it on here? Why? Think about this. If we spent as much time planning and building with each other and just showing each other some respect and love, how how much more will we get out of that? Because that was my whole purpose when I was over at Major doing them interviews. It wasn't so much to say, "Ha, look at who I could get." I wanted to I wanted to touch people, man. I wanted to touch people. Now we had some fun over there. Like Major messed up that time with Rockman when he told Rockman that he asked Rockman why he threw his belts in the trash. I mean, Rockman was like, I don't know what the hell you talking about. That was really Bo. I was on mute, brother. I couldn't get off mute fast enough to tell Major, nah, you got the wrong fighter. Right? I couldn't get off mute fast enough, right? So he was like, what the hell are you talking about? I'm not Riddick Bowe, bro. You've been talking to me this whole time. You don't know who I am? He was like, Major was like, my bad, and I was laughing my ass off on mute, right? But yeah, man. See, I wasn't so much interested. Now, I'm not gonna lie, say I wasn't interested in numbers because that would be a lie. It'd be a damn lie. I'm more or less the type. I'm interested more in quality. If I get the quantity because of the quality, great. But I'm never gonna sacrifice the quality for quantity. I'm not gonna do that. Let's say I want 1,000 views, but then I give you like a shit show or something. You know, Y'all could go watch shit shows all over social media. You don't need me to put one on. You know, no, you don't. You need me to come in here and be true to myself. You need me to come in here and be consistent. You need me to come in here and actually have put in the work and studied up on this fighter so I can have a real decent, meaningful, impactful conversation where you could say, okay, I felt what both of them were saying. I felt what the fighter. I'm glad he asked these questions because I had these same questions. And now, mind you, I'm not here to please anyone. I'm really not. But it's good when you do your due diligence and learn who these fighters are because it's not just about them. It's not just about you getting them on your show. It's about you showing them the respect to say that I put in the time to number one, ask for your time, and I also put in the time to make sure that I learned about you, so I can ask you some meaningful questions and not just be up here like a robot and go from A to B. Why did you get into boxing? Da, 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 da. Now let's have a conversation. Damn the interview. Let's us have a conversation because you've never seen me interview anybody. Every person I've talked to, it was a conversation. I don't think I ever interviewed anyone. It was just a conversation like I'm having now with whoever's listening. It was a conversation. Difference is I can see them. I can't see you. You know? So that's what gives me the enjoyment to come out here and do this, man. That's what it is. And the challenge is, if like y'all gave me a name today, you gave me Jose El Rayo Vasquez. Well, I'm gonna look into him. I'm gonna look into him. I'm gonna do some research and see what his story is. And if my soul says go ahead and get the brother, guess what? I'm gonna get him. And I'm gonna post it. And then if you want to jump on and talk to him, cool. If he's diminishes, but understand, be respectful, man. I mean, there's a place for fools and foolishness, but it's not here. Because one person could mess it up for everybody. Because I've always put people on when I've had any, stars on the show, whatever, legends or whatever you want to call them. And I want to keep doing that because that to me is more organic than me saying, let me take some questions from the panel. That doesn't do anything for me. Mm-mm. I want y'all to I want y'all to talk to him. You want to know why? Because of that memory that it leaves you. He leaves you a memory, and that's what it's all about. It's giving. But I think I'll do that today. I'm gonna sit around. I'm gonna do my due diligence since I did all the work I need to do in my house. and I have something to do tomorrow, and then I have something to do Thursday, and then Friday I could come back on because that's my free day, and I'll see what I could get. I'm not promising you I'll have anybody on Friday. I'm not, right? But I am going to do a list and check it twice and make sure that I'm not being naughty, but nice, real nice. Anyway, and Xander's Eyes is going to be one of them on the list. And once I look into this brother here, this El Rayo Venezuela, I'll let you know. I'm making you no promises, none. But I tell you what, if he's willing, then I got him. I get him. It's just that simple, you know. I get him. The Lord has to move me to do these things, man. I can't just say, okay, throw me out 10 names, I'm gonna get 10 people. No. Mm-mm. I'm not a gopher. I'm I, I'm an empath. That's how I live my life. I'm empathic, so I feel things deeply and I look into things really. I look into things, I look into people and I say, okay, well, this is a good fit. Evelyn, all smiles, bless up, bless up. You came through again. I appreciate it. Evelyn, y'all's a young lady from a show called iTalk. She's one of the fans from over there. So, you know, iTalk comes on, I have no idea, 10:30, 11:30 on here. So check them out. She's one of their fans and she stopped by to bless us with a female presence. Bless up, Evelyn. I need to make you an honorary member of member of the Troy Graham Experience, so you can bring some more ladies to the show. Because you know where the ladies go, the men follow. You like that, don't you? Bars. But definitely. So thank you for coming through, Miss Evelyn. Because you know what, Miss Evelyn, I'm going to be talking to a lot of female boxers, and I'm working on getting some female business owners on here as well. I have a friend who is a real estate agent. She owns a boutique, and she's a singer. She's one hell of a singer, and she's a rapper. It's just that she's so damn busy, she can't do nothing for her brother. She can't give her brother no time. I've known her for over 30 years. Her name is EP. EP. That's her name. I forgot how she spells it, but she got some videos on here. When you hear her voice and you see the person, you're gonna be like, that skinny little thing, that big ass voice came out of that skinny little thing. Yes, it did. She don't sing, she sang. Sang, like Eddie Kane Jr. But anyway, I'm gonna get some females on here. I'm working on a show. I'm working on a lot of things, y'all. I seriously am because I'm a very diligent dude when I do stuff because I use this is my real face. This is not, I'm not an AI. This is not nothing. This is me. You see that name? That's my real name. So I just created a brand right there. I am my own brand. I am the Graham brand, the great one. Troy, Troy, Troy Graham, if you're nasty, please be nasty. Please be nasty. No. So, you know, this is me. And I want to touch on a lot of things. There's so much things to talk about outside of boxing. It's just that I cheat all the time and do the easy thing, the boxing. But I'm not going to constantly do that. I'm not going to always do that. So yeah, I'm going to do some other things. I have. If y'all would just go to the Troy Graham Experience and hit live or just hit my videos, you'll see I've done stuff on food. I've interviewed my own sons on here. I was bold enough to interview two of my sons, my middle and my youngest, and they told the world what kind of father I was. They spoke about things that they did and I didn't quite care for. You know, so yeah, you go watch that video. Let's go. Just go into the Troy Graham Experience, click live, and you'll see it. Interview. Matter of fact, I had my daughter on here. She's 33, 34 this year. I had her on here. She was going back and forth with Myron Mingus, if y'all know Myron, about just life and marriage and all that. She's very strong. She's strong, headstrong. Mind you of somebody. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyway, so I want to stick to the thumbnail, but it is what it is. So I tell y'all what, I'm gonna stay on here probably for another 10 minutes and make it a whole hour, and then I'll be back at 6 o'clock with a different subject matter. It's not gonna be boxing. I want to start doing some conversations about heart transplant survivors and people who are living with what's called the LVAD. Because on a personal note, that's me. That's me right there. And I have so many questions. So I just want to reach out to people who have gone through it and lived through it. So when it's my time and they call me up, I'll know I'll know what I'm headed into. You know, when the good Lord says, "Hey, you on this list here for this transplant, what am I going to go through?" You know, I know as far as my emotions, how am I going to deal with that? I'm stoic. I don't really show a lot of emotion. You know, you see me laugh a lot, or you might see me fly off at the handle if I feel super disrespected. But you know, other than that, this is me right here. This is just me. So the next show I do will probably be at 6, and that'll be about want to reach out to some LVAD people who are living with LVAD and all that. If you don't know what an LVAD is, it's spelled the way it sounds. It's LVAD. It's a left ventricle assistance device. It's a basically a pump that they attach to the left side of your heart to keep when you go into heart failure and your heart doesn't pump anymore. All right. So that's what that's about. I think Brown would have had trouble with Kurt. Yes, yeah, yeah. Your slide and counter, I 100% agree. I 100% agree. I 100% agree. Thanks for taking it back to the show because I would have just got lost in that subject. But yes, Brown Brown would have had trouble with Curry with his style because Curry's fast. He's a damn good boxer, and he can punch. He can punch. Goes in and out, and he can punch. And he gets your timing down too. He's a brilliant guy, brilliant fighter. So I definitely, you know what? I don't remember if he passed away or not because I had an opportunity to reach out to him and I never did. Hmm. I don't know why. I check on that. If I still have that opportunity to reach out to him, I'm going to. I'm definitely going to reach out to him. I don't know why I never did that. Curry had that featherweight. No, no. Curry was much better than Pettyweight. Pettyweight can punch. Pettyweight was a puncher, but he had like Carl the Truth Williams. He had a glass chin. The only reason why he beat Simon because Simon used to beat him up in sparring. Him and Simon were sparring partners. Simon Simon's left eye was dead after a while. He couldn't see out of it. Retina was all messed up, and he kept boxing for whatever the purpose was. So that's why he started losing fights because he couldn't see. He only had one eye. He only had one eye, and he couldn't see. That's why he started to lose fights. When you can't see stuff and time it, or any don't block, you basically fighting like this. That's what you're fighting. That's how he was fighting the end of his last couple of fights in his career for the last maybe 5 years. He fought like this with only one eye because he can't see out the other eye at all. Yeah, and Curry really didn't have a better chin than Pennyweight. Pennyweight's chin was not good. I used to see him in the gym. Now Pennyweight was good. Make no mistake about it, and he hit like 3 people. He could knock you out one punch. Pennyweight can punch. He had this thing where he would fake like he was gonna throw his right and act like he was going to your body and bring that hook to your head, and it felt like you got hit by a ton of bricks. Ton of bricks. Alonzo, amazing. Bless yourself up and thanks for that, man. I haven't been asking anybody to press the like button. Well, thank you. Yeah, go ahead and press the like button and share and subscribe. Thanks for that. I didn't even think about it. But yeah, definitely do that. Share and subscribe and press the like button. But yeah, Curry at one point was considered the best welterweight in the world. He was the Detroit. He was the Motor City. No, was he the Detroit Cobra and Hearns was the Motor City Cobra? Was that how it worked? What was his nickname? Both of them had Cobra in their name, basically. I remember Brown beat and he beat Terry badly in the first fight. I wasn't shocked at that. I wasn't shocked at that. No. You wanna know why? Because of Terry's chin. And Terry always had a problem with punchers. Just go watch Julian Jackson versus Terry Norris. He tore Julian Jackson up in the first round. You know what he did? In the second round, he stopped to admire his work for 1 second. Big mistake. Julian hit him with a straight right hand. That should have been it. The other two punches really weren't necessary. But when I say that, because Julian is really a one punch knockout artist. People talked about other fighters. Any place he hits you, even if he doesn't land flush, he hurt he kills your nervous system in that area. You feel it. You feel it. Any place he hits you, right? So when he caught Terry the first time on the ropes with the right hand, that fight should have been stopped. Terry was asleep. He was asleep. He hit him with two more punches after that, and he really could have broke his nose and maybe knocked out a tooth. How hard he fell because he was asleep. He was asleep. Terry was asleep. He wasn't. He was asleep. He was unconscious. Phew. I still watch that fight till today in awe. In awe. That dude was beautiful, man. When Julian was on, he was on. And he had some decent boxing skills, but he went away from it for some reason. Norris had all of the offensive fluid combination gifts, but he had issues taking. Yes, he had a weak chin. Him, Pettyway, weak chin. Did Terry fight Pettyway? Somebody remind me. I think they did fight. Those were the ones that had the issues. I think him and Pettyway had some personal issues. Yeah, I don't know what the personal issue was, but I think they did have a personal issue because you could feel the hate in that fight. And then it wasn't because they were fighting each other. They seriously hated each other. Kind of like the first time I saw Barrero versus Morales. That was full of hate. They hated each other. But time changes all things, and they respect each other now. Yeah, he beat Pittyway. Yeah, I saw that fight now because I remember it. I definitely remember it. Just like I remember Curry fighting Nunn. And he gave Nunn some fits, but eventually Nunn was just too big and too skillful for him, and he beat him. He just beat him, you know. So yeah. Well, look, it's coming up on the hour mark. You know, got 3 minutes left. You know, if y'all want to shout out, if y'all want, yeah, I just want to thank y'all for coming by. I'm gonna be more consistent now because now I'm gonna do what I've done with everybody else's show that I was on here that I got interviews for. I'm gonna make that list and just go down the list. I'm gonna check on your boy who gave me El Rayo. Who did that? Let me scroll up here. Was that you, Lord? Was that you that gave me El Rayo? Yeah, it was Lord. Lord gave me Lord. Oh my goodness. You gotta change your name, partner. Lord. So anyway, it was Lord, brother Lord, triple quadruple P that gave me El Rayo Venezuela. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna look into that brother. I'm gonna look into David Benavides again because we spoke to him 3 times. So I'm like, I think I definitely get him on the Troy Graham experience, right? Okay, okay, okay. So, you know, Curry had great skills. He was yes, slide and counter. I spoke on that. He was beating McCollum, but you know what he did wrong? He kept doing the same thing. He would hit him and go to the body, left hook, jab out, and go straight back. Hit him, go to the body, jab out, go straight back. With a fighter like McCollum, he's just as beautiful as his mind is just as beautiful as Curry's is. He's a thinker in there, just like Curry is. Beautiful. Both of them were beautiful, man. As far as boxing goes, they were beautiful, skillful dudes to watch, man. They were beautiful, man. I love watching them work. So what happens is you keep doing the same thing, you're gonna get caught. So Mike was like, "Oh, I see what you're doing now. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Got you, partner." When Curry backed straight out, which he did, watch the fight. He backed straight out. Mike faked like he was going to the body, and Curry did the straight back thing to avoid the body shot. Then he brought it up, and it was a ring king left hook. You know, we used to play ring king back in the day. Poof. And he caught him with everything because when he backed straight up, he had his hands down. That's the natural thing that fighters do. When they back straight up, they put their hands down. Don't put your hands down when you back straight up, partner. And so, yeah, he knocked him straight out. He knocked him straight out the box, right? So, yeah, man. I enjoy doing, I don't want to I'm not going to ramble on. It's going on an hour now. So I'm enjoying doing this. I'm enjoying it, but I've never put the same effort out to build the Troy Graham experience like I did when I was at Major Key. You know, I never put that same type of energy out. Why, you say? I don't know. I guess because the the challenge for me was to say, okay, I'm going to build this and all that. That was a challenge. And then when I come over here, I'm like, yeah, this is mine. I can build it whenever I want. You see that? I'm more for go getter. I think for I'm more of one of those dudes that want to go get it for others than I want for myself, which sounds ridiculous, but it's the truth though. But not anymore. That was past tense, not present tense, past tense. So you're gonna see me more frequently now. I probably won't will not be back till Friday because I have some business to take care of tomorrow. I have some business to take care of on Thursday, and I don't want to come on here winded and half-ass this thing. I want to come on here and do it for real, you know. So I want you to get the best of me, not a half-ass version of me, you know. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do it for real. Or maybe I should drop some Martin Luther King on you, being that it was his birthday yesterday. You know, maybe I should. Maybe I should. I think I'll do just that. I'll drop some Martin on you. I just gotta find the right one, you know, because yeah, I dropped some Martin on you. Let me see, because I can't really play the whole video. I think they give you a strike for that because I'm not big enough. They don't really pay me no mind. But guess what? I'm coming, baby. I'm coming, baby. I'm coming. Right? Yeah, that one's even longer. So I just got to get to the place where I want them to say what I have to say. I want you to hear, I should say, and I'll do that. But look, bless up one and all, and thank you all for coming out. You know, I think I'm gonna come back a little later, actually. I may come back at 6 o'clock and do another show, but you'll get the notifications. You'll definitely get it, you know. So you will get it. You will get it. This is the one I want right here. So enjoy this video, y'all. Let's not deal with it. I'm gonna put it on. All we say to America is be true to. Okay, so before we get into Brother King, thank you for coming out, y'all. Thank you, slide and counter. Appreciate you. Everybody that came out, I appreciate you. Uh, Evelyn, definitely keep coming through. Lord, I'm never gonna get over that name, man. I will look into El Rayo. I will look into David Benavidez. I will look into Xander Zayas, and I'll look into some other people. Shh, don't tell nobody. Well, matter of fact, like, share, and subscribe. Let the world know that the Troy Graham experience is here to stay. He's never gonna go away. You called me a troll. You told me I was too old. You told me what I was. Me and Major's show was weak and we should fold. Mm. You didn't know that the good Lord put it on us, and we had a story that needed to be told. So we told it to you. And what did you do? You kept it in your memories and kept it in your heart, and say, "Thank you, Troy and Major. This is why we tune into you, and we tune in the exact same minute that you start. We're your fans for life because you give us more than drama. You give us memories that we can hold. We can tell these stories to our youngsters as time unfolds." That's right. And that's what this is all about. Giving. I could be a troll and I can give you some drama. But what for? I'd rather give you some love, man. Don't don't say pause when I say that, fellas. Don't do it. Don't do it. I'd rather approach everything in love. Now, sometimes love is, listen, I got a daughter. She's been overdeveloped since she was 12. She was 5'11" at 12, or 5'8", 9, whatever at 12. She's 6'1" now, about 185, right? Beautiful, beautiful young lady. She looked like Shania Lathan. She looked like Shania Lathan and shaped like Serena Williams, right? I always had an issue. I told her when she was 13, 14, and she was telling me the little boys were liking her. I said, they don't like you. They like what they see. They don't know you. So be careful with that. They don't like you, you know? And her mother was like, that's cruel. You could have crushed her. I'm like, out of cruelty is also compassion. So you want her to run headfirst to the first guy that shows her some interest and then get her heart broken? Or you want me to be the man in the situation and tell her the truth? They don't like you. They like what they see. And they're going to feed that interest in you and want you to drop your guard and do things you really shouldn't be doing. I told her that at 13, right? To this day, she's 34 now. When she calls and stuff, she'll be like, yeah, I still remember you telling me that. At first, I was a child, I thought that was kind of mean, but now I understand it. Yeah, because she's more than a body and a face. She understands the value of her human being. So understand that what you take sometimes as cruelty, there's compassion in it. All right? There is compassion in it. You just got to listen. Sometimes we hear, but we don't listen. And I'm the first. I can say that that's me sometimes. I give a lot of pushback sometimes and things like that. But yeah. Now I'm glad I told her that when because I was, I watched over her like a god dog, man. The grown ass dudes was like, man, one dude, I choked him. We'll get into that story another day. I choked the hell out of this dude for something he said out his mouth. I literally could have got arrested. Yeah. Yeah. But that's a story for another day. I'll tell that story another day. But anyway, big up and bless up yourself, one and all. Thank you for stopping by to the Troy Graham Experience. And I will I will never not appreciate you, and I will always hold you dear in my heart for that. Respect, because I respect your time. I respect it. So respect and bless up yourself. I am gone, people. Let me take you out with Brother King.
All we say to America is be true to what you said on paper. If I lived in China or even Russia or any totalitarian country, maybe I could understand some of these illegal injunctions. Maybe I could understand the denial of certain basic First Amendment privileges because they haven't committed themselves to that over there. But somewhere I read of the freedom of assembly. Somewhere I read of the freedom of speech. Somewhere I read of the freedom of press. Somewhere I read that the greatness of America is the right to protest for right. And so just as I say we aren't going to let any dogs or water hoses turn us around, we aren't going to let any injunction turn us around. Well, I don't know what will happen now. We've got some difficult days ahead. But it really doesn't matter with me now because I've been to the mountaintop. I don't mind. Like anybody, I would like to live a long life. Longevity has its place. But I'm not concerned about that now. I just want to do God's will. And He's allowed me to go up to the mountain. And I've looked over and I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land. So I'm happy tonight. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not fearing any man. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. Eyes have seen. I'm happy tonight. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not fearing any man. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. So I'm happy tonight. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not fearing spirit in a man. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord.
Amen. Amen.